Hi everybody, this is my Module 8 assignment. The topic for this assignment was leading with a moral compass. So first I'll review the sources we were exposed to this week. After looking at the first two YouTube videos, I kind of identified the overarching topic of considerations of a leader. So here are some things I gathered that a leader should consider and keep in mind. The first is leaders must have a clear understanding of right and wrong in order to make hard decisions. So you don't arrive to a hard decision and know what the right move is simply because of your knowledge or wit. Having that resolve and knowing what to do when you're facing a challenging situation comes from years of practicing what's right and wrong. Next, people are watching to see if leaders choose integrity, both in public and private. So if you're choosing to be a leader, you're choosing to be a leader every single day, at work and at home. Doing what is right builds trust with others. The speaker of the first YouTube video said, if trust is broken, you are done as a leader. Your decisions affect real people and their families. It is your responsibility to give others dignity, so you have that power to make or break someone, and that's a pretty big responsibility. Next, you should be willing to always tell the truth. For our next slide, I have various interpretations on empathy. So empathy is a word that is not so agreed upon by philosophers and scholars. So here are some different opinions that people have on what empathy actually means. First, cognitive versus affective. So you can feel sadness about the sadness of someone else, or I suffer because you suffered. Next, acknowledging the depth of a situation versus placing yourself in another's shoes. Next, empathy is not necessary for moral action versus empathy is the cement of society. So some people believe empathy is what keeps society going. Others believe you can act moral without even feeling any empathy at all, as long as you have that skill set and that understanding of right and wrong. Last, some believe that cultural norms completely determine who is deserving of empathy. So in the article, we read about a man who was standing on top of a bridge, spitting down at some immigrants who were coming out of a crisis situation. And the world looked at that image and was appalled at his callousness and his hardness of heart. This idea just kind of says, maybe he is callous, maybe he's not. We don't know what's going on in his situation, and we don't know what is normal in his culture. Next, individuals with impaired frontal lobes struggle to grasp right versus wrong in the absence of feeling empathy. So this just kind of suggests that empathy is tied to moral action. We can see it in these situations. Some view empathy as biased emotion and do not trust it at all as a guide. And then lastly, Arendt believes that one must visit another situation while maintaining individual thought and reasoning. So you're going close to another situation, becoming intimate with that feeling while maintaining your own thoughts and logic. My takeaway, considering all the different approaches and interpretations on empathy, is that practicing empathy does require emotion. It requires thoughtfulness and facts. This combination does well to enable an individual for moral action. Here are some emotional motivators for moral action. So, people who do the right thing, likely they were inspired by one of these emotions. The first possible emotion that may have inspired their good deeds are the feeling that if they didn't do the right thing, they would feel shame, guilt, or embarrassment. Next, people might worry that they would feel contempt, anger, disgust from others. Another motivator is other praising emotions. So this is knowing that you're going to receive praise or recognition for doing the right thing. And the last one is other suffering emotions. So seeing someone going through something and feeling sympathy, compassion, or empathy for them, and that own emotion that you're experiencing could be the motivator for you doing the right thing. Here are some obstacles that hinder having a moral compass. Traumatic history, so that could be a past of racism, abuse, feeling a lack of safety. So maybe you feel that you have to be violent in order to keep your family safe. Increasing differences in society, so race, religion, politics, socioeconomic differences, all of those are things that separate people and make people feel like they have to fight for their own. Increasing polarization, so just that increase of contrasting opinions. And then, of course, lack of education. So in the midst of all these hindrances for a moral compass, some things a leader should consider is differences are inevitable. You can't force sameness, but what you can do is seek to find the common ground. So maybe person A and person B are never going to agree on politics or religion, but you can get them to agree on the fact that people deserve the right of having a safe home environment and knowing that no one's going to come into their home and take their children. So what is a moral compass? A moral compass is a consistent belief system that guides action. It's that inner sense of right and wrong. It can be developed and utilized. It allows you to feel when you're going in the wrong direction or crossing your own moral boundary. It's our means of testing reality and truth, and each person has their very own unique moral compass. So just because two people are Catholic does not mean they'll have the same moral compass. It's shaped by your life experiences and your own personal interpretation. The importance of having a moral compass is you gain a sense of purpose that helps lead you throughout life, makes you as a person more consistent, and that inevitably affects your relationships in a positive way and helps you to sustain long-term relationships. It can improve your self-confidence and sense of self-worth. It inspires others to follow their own moral compass, and then that also benefits society because more people are doing the right thing, not just you. And it helps you develop the ability to put needs of others in front of your own. Here's a picture of my own moral compass. So I put honesty at the top just because I think it's a guide to every situation you encounter in life. If you resolve to always be honest in every situation, it kind of eliminates that gray area in your life. I put integrity at the bottom because I believe integrity grounds you as a person, and it's kind of a firm foundation that you can stand on. Going over here to the left, I put authenticity right after honesty. The two are similar, but if you're like me, you've had experiences where you talked with someone and you walk away with this feeling that they weren't being genuine with you. And even if they didn't tell you a lie, you felt kind of lied to for some reason. I hate that feeling. I never want anyone to feel that with me. I want them to know that I'm present and taking them seriously. So I think authenticity is very important. Next, I put respect and excellence. So I put excellence, just thinking of my own profession as an educator. It's one thing to do your job, show up, clock in, do what's expected of you, but it's another thing to do it with your heart, to do it with excellence. Here on the right, I put fairness. I believe everyone deserves a fair shot. They deserve an equal playing field. I also put compassion. Everyone is deserving of compassion. We're all human. Everyone deserves a second chance. I also put truthfulness, which goes with integrity and honesty, but I think anytime that you have the power to do it, you should tell the truth. Here are my references for this assignment. And then lastly, I believe this assignment correlated to the standards for this week because we learned how to reflect and pay attention to our own moral compass as we make decisions in life. Doing this will enable us to model ethical behavior for others. This assignment helped me to understand that moral action requires having set intentions, and establish values. These will act as a firm foundation to enable you to face challenging situations with character and integrity. I also learned that having compassion for others requires both emotion and thoughtfulness. You need both in order to respond well. For my personal reflection, I just said, creating a pictorial representation for my own moral compass was fun, and it caused me to reflect on and identify what my own values really are. I had never had to sit down and actually think through those, and writing them out was very grounding for me. I believe that this set of values is going to help me make decisions that are consistent throughout life as a leader, and I believe it will help me model integrity. Having integrity will serve me as a leader and help others feel safe and better able to trust my decisions. Thanks for watching my Module 8 assignment. I hope that my thoughts inspired some new thoughts with you.